The Xiaomi Mi 5 has officially entered production and will be launched on February 24th. Xiaomi has also announced a media event for MWC 2016, its first time hosting an event at the Congress. A recent screenshot of the device's home screen reveals NFC and dual SIM support. Xiaomi Mi 5 release date and price on January 22nd, Xiaomi's senior vice president, Wenqiang Li, stated that the Xiaomi Mi 5 release date would be February 24th via Weibo. This was confirmed by Xiaomi Global Vice President Hugo Barra and India head Manu Kumar Jain, who both tweeted about a February 24th launch. A media preview is set to take place at MWC 2016 in Barcelona. This will be the first time Xiaomi has hosted an event at MWC, so it's big news for them. The teaser image promises all you ever imagined, and more, which is rather a lot. An earlier leak, coming via Weibo on January 12th, suggested that Foxconn factory workers are pulling heavy overtime to prepare enough stock of the Mi 5 to meet what Xiaomi predicts will be heavy demand for the device. Xiaomi co-founder Li Wenqiang had already confirmed that the Mi 5 had entered mass production via Weibo on January 6th. An overeager Pomart product page, published, and then quickly removed, in December, listed the Xiaomi Mi 5 price as $599. That price is higher than expected. Previous rumors suggested that the Mi 5 would come in two variants costing $311 and $389, but the specs of the Mi 5 do stack up favorably against other next-general flagships, so there's still a saving to be had there. Xiaomi Mi 5 specs according to forgames.com, a renowned leakster suggested on November 5 that the Mi 5 will carry the Snapdragon 820 chip. This was seemingly confirmed by a short-lived Pomart listing in mid-December, which featured a short Xiaomi Mi 5 specs list. The page was promptly removed, but Smarena was on hand to pluck the details before it was too late. The product page said the Mi 5 will have a Snapdragon 820 chip along with 4GB RAM and a choice of 16, 64 or 128GB of internal storage. On January 17th, specs leaked through Geekbench showing a 3GB RAM device running what appears to be a Snapdragon 820 and Android 6.0 Marshmallow. It scored a pleasing 2,182 in the single-core test and 4,892 in the multi-core test, which is a solid result, supporting the claim that the device is indeed powered by the Snapdragon 820. Xiaomi chairman Lei Jun shared a screenshot of the Mi 5 home screen, which displays two items of interest. A close look at the top right of the screen reveals two network bars, suggesting dual SIM support. There's also NFC icon, second and from the left. This feature that hasn't been seen on a Xiaomi device since the Mi 3. Xiaomi Mi 5 features leaked renders from Weibo show a physical home button, something that has never appeared on a Xiaomi device before. Primarily, this indicates that the rumored ultrasonic fingerprint scanner is not going to become a reality. Xiaomi was said to be hoping to include Qualcomm's Snapdragon Sense ID 3D fingerprint technology. The tech specifically doesn't require the presence of a home button, because the sensor can be embedded anywhere, most practically in the device's screen. It also looks as though the Mi 5 will include 3D touch technology, which allows for pressure-sensitive interaction with the screen. This can be used to copy text with a light press and cut with a heavier press, for example. It also has a lot of implications for games, allowing for a great variety of options simply by pressing the screen with greater or lesser pressure. Xiaomi Mi 5 designed the Tana images of the Xiaomi Mi 5 Plus give us a very good idea of what to expect. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the Xiaomi Mi 5 will probably look very similar to the Mi 4 and, in turn, the iPhone. A leaked image purporting to show the Mi 5 gives a decent enough look at the design of the device. It shows the physical home button that was suggested by earlier leaked renders, and the rumored curved display can also be seen. The headphone jack can be seen to sit at the top left of the device's frame, below. A second set of leaked photos, this time of a black device, showed the phone's rear, with a centrally positioned circular camera unit flanked by a laser autofocus module and LED flash. Below the camera lens sits the fingerprint scanner. This view of the device differs from what we've been led to expect from previous leaks, which have the camera sitting in the top left corner. Whether this image is even of the Mi5 and not some as yet unknown handset remains to be seen. The Mi5 Plus is set to have a Gorilla Glass forefront and back, and aluminum sides by the looks of things, with the volume rocker and power button on the right side and SIM card slot on the left. It'll be just 6.95mm thick, which leads us to think that the Xiaomi Mi5 will be even thinner. More photos leaked via GuysChina.com in late January, and showed a significantly different device to the one we've seen in earlier photos. This one carries a more generic metal unibody design reminiscent of an iPhone or the HTC One A9. The credibility of these photos, as always, is open to question, but with the device now going through production, it doesn't seem unreasonable that such photos would begin to leak now. If these photos do prove to be the real deal, the most concerning thing about them is the evidence of a standard USB port, which, given that Xiaomi has employed USB Type-C on previous devices, seems like an unnecessary step backward. Xiaomi Mi5 display. According to Weibo leaker Gemma, the Xiaomi Mi5 display will be a 5.2-inch offering with a 1440p 2560 x 1440 pixel resolution. On paper, this will put the display on par with the best flagship smartphones out there. This speculation received further validation when Apomart listed the Mi5 with a 2560 x 1440 pixel screen, although it put the screen size down as 5.5 inches. Images coming through for Games.com in early December show a bezel-less display on a device presumed to be the Mi5. The look is undeniably stunning, and if it proves true, then it could make the Mi5 one of the most attractive devices out there. Xiaomi Mi5 camera. The Mi5 will likely pack a 16MP rear camera with LED flash, and a 6MP front-facing snapper. Mobi Picker described the 16MP camera as a flip-side camera, suggesting that it will be hidden in the chassis by default and will pop out when you take photos using it. This sounds like an intriguing move, and we'll be keeping a close eye on the Xiaomi Mi5 cameras so we can find out more. This speculation was dented by the Apomart listing, which described the Mi5 as having a 20MP rear camera and 8MP front-facing camera. Xiaomi Mi5 battery. Based on the leaked specs, the Xiaomi Mi5 battery is now expected to pack 3800 mAh of juice, which is plenty by today's standards. Of course, the battery's longevity will largely depend on the efficiency of the Snapdragon 820 chipset, which is likely to vary from handset to handset, as with its forebearer, the Snapdragon 810.